Mamelani kahle. Today, more than 18 million South Africans in our country receive social relief from the government.
Umengameli uCyril Ramaphosa uthi mikhulu imizamo yehlangano ebusako ekulwisaneni nendlala nomhlaba eSouth Africa pha. Ababelana abakhambele imbizo ye-Africa-Cuba babuka iCuba ngesisa sayo emazweni angaphakathi kwenarhakazi ye-Afrika. Isarara abaningi imidlalo yephaliswano le-AFCON. Kwaba kuhle ukuhlanganiswa zindaba godu ku-SABC 1 ngelimi lesiNdebele. Ibizo lami nginguCedric Mwebya, lotshani emakhaya. Pheze ayi-28 million amaSouth Africa aziphilisa ngesibonelelo sikahulumende. Lokho kuvezwe ngumengameli wehlangano ebusako uCyril Ramaphosa nabekakhuluma emnyanyeni wokugidinga iminyaka eyi-112 i-ANC yasungulwa. Umnyanya lo ubanjelwe eMbombela eMpumalanga ngempela veke. uRamaphosa uthi ayi-18 million amaSouth Africa athola isibonelelo sikahulumende, kuthi ayi-10 million athola isibonelelo sabantu abangasebenziko esathoma ehlelweni kwengogwana i-COVID-19.
In 1999, only 2.5 million people had access to social relief. Today, more than 18 million South Africans in our country receive social relief from the government.
Umengameli we-ANC uCyril Ramaphosa nabekakhuluma namakhulukhulu abantu etatawini leMbombela eMpumalanga uveze impumelelo yehlangano le yiminyaka ema-30 edlulileko. Ngokuya kamengameli, ihlangano le yenza umehluko omkhulu empilweni yabantu solo yaba ihlangano ebusako ngo-1994.
The South Africa of today is different and vastly improved from the South Africa of 30 years ago.
Kodwana ingakhani imizamo ye-ANC iphendula iSouth Africa ilizwe eliphila ngokubonelelwa ngurhulumende.
Excited as they are that there are millions and millions of people that are depending on social grants. We're actually moving towards being a real welfare state.
ISouth Africa ibalwa hlangana namazwe okungalingana ephasini, kanti eminyakeni edlulileko elizwe liqalene nokukhuphuka kwendleko zokuphila nesibalo esiphezulu sabantu abangasebenziko. Emzameni yokulwisana nemthelela ye-COVID-19, urhulumende wethula isibonelelo sabantu abangasebenziko.
Into office, there were only 8 million South Africans who were in formal employment. Namhlanje, we have 16.7 million South Africans who are now employed.
Kwabangasebenziko kube izindaba ezimnandi lezi, kodwa nababhadeli bomthelo akhange kubahlalele kuhle njengoba na kutsho bona bazokukhupha khudlwana ngesikhwanyeni.
This cannot be sustainable. We have got fewer and fewer people employed in South Africa.
Njengoba sele kunabantu abayi-28 million abathola isibonelelo sikahulumende, urhulumende uqalelele nekhonakalo yokubana enze isibonelelo saqobe nyanga sabantu abangasebenziko. Kwakhathesi izinga labantu abangasebenziko elizweni libalelwa ku-32%.
Ekhasini lethu le-Facebook sibuze ukuthi uthini umbono wakho ngesibalo esiphezulu sabantu abaphila ngesibonelelo sikahulumende. Naku umbono wakho uyalandela mbukeli.
Iqiniso elingasoze laphikwa, mningi kakhulu imizi emile neshunqayo ngenxa yemali isibonelelo sikahulumeni.
Iningi kakhulu le balo le. Kuyabonakala ukuthi abantu abaningi ababereke la eSouth Africa.
Asanje mhlophe kwababe baningi abantu abangaka baphilanga ngempela. Xa ungayifumenanga kwenye inyanga ile kanjani? Hayi inhlungu nesolo.
Isibalo lesi sikutshela ngokusobala ukuthi kusho ukuthi uhulumeni uyahluleka ukudala amathuba emisebenzi.
Umbono ngeumbukeli SABC ayizukuthwesa umlando ukuziphendulela ngombono umbukeli. Siyanda isibalo sabantu abazifakela amandla wegezi avuselelwa ngelanga amasola eSouth Africa pha. Njengoba na ilizwe lekhethu liragela phambili nokuqindelisa kwegezi, isifunda esikhamba phambili ngokufaka amasola eGauteng silandele isifunda seTjingalanga Kapa. Kuqalwe bona sale khulu isibalo lesi umnyaka lo, khulukhulu emkhakheni wezamabhizinisi njengoba na kungiwo asebenzisa khulu igezi.
Umnyaka 2023 uhlathulwe njengomnyaka obebudisi khulu ngokuqindeliswa kwegezi emlandweni weSouth Africa. Begodu lokho bekuzokuba kumbi khulu nangathana amanye amabhizinisi nemizi akhange azifakele ezinye izinto eziletha amandla wegezi njengamasola. Esinye isakhamuzi eJohannesburg uPhathu Nyelisani uthi iye khona kuyabiza ukuyifaka. Kodwa uthi kwaba ligadango elihle khulu ukuzifakela isola.
I moved here I think about 2021. This I won't lie, this is a very nice area. But when we moved here, we did not know the crisis that maybe Rodiport has as an area. So only to find out in terms of cable theft and power outages, we would go for probably 3 days, 4 days without electricity. And that is not something that I wanted. So when I moved here, I wanted peace of mind.
Faka isola kuthoma ngendenge ngange 60,000 yamaranda kuyokufikela ku 200,000 yamaranda. Kubalwa ukuthola ibhetriya kwenesigubhu esidlulisa umlilo bona kukhanye ngendlela ama-iri abunane. Abasemkhakheni wezamabhizinisi bathi ukuqindelisa kwegezi ngesigaba sesithandathu kulimaze kumbi umnotho weSouth Africa nge4 billion yamaranda ngelanga. Kanti bakhuthaze abanye abasomabhizinisi abalenyezwe ukuqindeliswa kwegezi bona benze amanye amahlelo okufaka isola ngesikwelede ukwenzela bona amabhizinisi abo asebenze.
Especially financial institutions, they've introduced what is called rent to own a solar panels, where if you don't have necessarily, you don't have the initial capital that you put in upfront, you can almost like a car installment type of thing, and then you pay on a monthly basis.
Uthi lezi ndaba ezimnandi ezokuthula umthwalo wegezi ebokabokako. Ukulwisana nengaba eziphezulu zokuqindeliswa kwegezi.
Load shedding would have been much higher if it was not for the private generation that we already see at household and business level.
Abantu bayaleliswa bona bahlokomela inkampani ezingasesemthethweni ezisebenza ngegezi begodi kunefuneko yokuthi abantu bafundiswe bona amandla wesola asebenza njani.
The wiring, everything that is done in your house, it can actually burn your house down. So if you like your house standing and if you like your kids alive, make sure that you find the right person to do the job. The minute they give you the battery, it's dying. So the quality of the battery tells you how long will the battery last. But even that, if it's complicated, it's simple. The person needs to give you a 10-year warranty on that battery.
Uhulumende ukhuthaza abantu beSouth Africa bona bazifakela amasola begodi uthembise nokuphungula umthelo odoswayo nge-25% emzini nemabhizinisini begodwa ukhuthaze nangomthelo oyi-25% kuma-PV solar wabo. Ekusincephezeliso esithome ngeng-1 kuNtaka umnyaka opheleleko besakuraga njalo bekube sekupheleni kwakamhlolanja umnyaka lo.
Ilizwe leCuba lihlathululwe njengelizwe elisekela amanye amazwe angaphasi kwegandeleleko ephasini zombelele. Lokhu kuvezwe babelani abakhambele iconference yekhomba ye-Africa-Cuba Solidarity ebanjelwe eWhite River eMpumalanga. ANC kunye nenhlangano ezinesikhozi nazo zisingathe iconference le ngaphasi kwesiqubulo esithi Africa's commitment to the Cuban Revolution, okutsho bona ukuzibophelela kweAfrika ngokuchugulula ilizwe leCuba. Abantu abakhambele iconference le bavela emazweni ahlukahlukeneko ekubalwa iCuba, iRussia neChina.
Ukuqinisa ubudlelwano nebumbano, ilizwe leCuba lineminyaka likhoziselene nehakazi yeAfrika, kanti inahakazi le izibophelele ekuchugululeni nekuchapululeni iCuba kunye nokulwisana nokubusa ngegandeleleko.
The long-standing struggle of the Cuban people against imperial aggression remains a key political and moral battle for all progressive forces of the world. The Cuban struggle has stood out in history as the most enduring self-defense by the small island nation against the pressure of a superpower whose singular goal has been to force the proud Cuban people to give up their sovereignty and to give up their freedom.
The young Cuban trained doctors will play a major role in mobilizing our populations to end the blockade, to get out of Guantanamo, to get Cuba off the list of terrorist supporting states.
ICuba inethemba lokuthi iphasi lonke lizokuba yingcenye yokuqeda igandeleleko begodwa ithokoza isisekelo nebumbano enalo neAfrika.
As we approach 30 years of diplomatic relations between South Africa and Cuba, which we will reach next May, we can affirm that they are an example of the friendship and solidarity that we want between our peoples.
Isekela likamongameli ANC uPaul Mashatile uthokoza iCuba ngokuhlala isekela Afrika khulukhulu emkhakheni wezifundo.
A significant number of young individuals from South Africa has received education and training in Cuba and in Cuban education institutions. Some are still training there as we speak. Some have graduated, they are doctors, engineers, etc.
Ithindiwe nendaba yokuletha ukuthula eMiddle East kunye neWestern Sahara. Conference le iphela ngelesithathu.
Noye Action SA imemezele uDr Nasiphi Moya njengengikhethani wesekela lika Meyara weTshwane. Ihlangano le ithi ukuvula kwesikhundla esikumasipalata lo kubingwe ngakho ukuqinisekisa nokunikela inzinzo ngaphakathi kwemvumelwano zokubusa ngokuhlanganyela ekuqalwe ekhulu kizo ukuthuthukiswa komthangalo sisekelo ukulungisa nokuhlokomela.
Can you please leave us members?
Bekudosiswana ngokubusa ngokuhlanganyela eTshwane solo kwango-2021. Ukudosisana kwenhlangano zepolitiki oku kulemaza ukulethwa kwezenzelwa zomphakathi. Kodwa ne-Action SAT isikhundla esitsha sesekela likaMeyara sizoqinisekisa bona inhlangano zitsheje inkhuluphelo zomphakathi kunezepolitiki. Begodwa ithi umro ngenza lokho uDr Nasiphi Moya.
My responsibility is to ensure that major development initiatives are effectively managed, monitored and completed in a timely manner.
Umoya kiwaba sesikhundleni sesiphathiswa sabasebenzi ofisini kaMeyara nesiphathiswa esilawula zobuhulumende.
And as part of that process, a set of delegations have been decided and agreed by the coalition for the Deputy Executive Mayor and will in turn find expression in the governance processes of the Tshwane Council.
Umkhandlu weTshwane uyokuhlangana ngelesine malungana nekambiso yokukhetha isekela likaMeyara.
Nasibuya entolo.
They did CPR, but I could just tell that my son was not going to make it.
Imbalobalo zithi babalelwa ku 3.2 million abantwana bathuliswa kwenkolweni. Ubukele indaba zesiNdebele ku DTT na ku SABC Plus kanti indaba ezi ziyatholakala ku YouTube na ku Facebook. Nawusanda ukufika siyakwamukela nawe. Umalusi umemezele ukuthi ingakhutshwa imphumela kaMatric kiyo yombili imkhakha wangeqadi neumbuso. Umalusi uthi akekho amaphepho afahlileko ngomnyaka opheleleko. Nanyana kunjalo kusese nenhlilo ezimbalwa.
Bangaphezulu kwe-1.1 million abafundi abathola inhlahlubo zikaMatric ngomnyaka opheleleko. Intifiketi zomgunyadi nabakopawo kunye nengendlela amaphepha akhutshwe ngakho kubehlangana nemrare bakhona. Kube nokuthwenyeka ngemchapho eminingi ebakhona emaphepheni. Lokho kunemthelela emimbi emphumeleni yabafundi.
Umalusi is seriously concerned about the group copying cases that have been detected by the DBE in 2023, which involves 945 national senior certificate candidates.
Usihlalo wezikweli uProfessor Yunis Balim umemezele bona imphumela engakhutshwa bangaphezulu kumaphesente ama-80 abafundi abathola inhlahlubo zabo ngomnyaka opheleleka bavele enkolweni zikahulumende. Kubutshwa abasola abali-11 eLimpopo ngokuthengisa intifiketi zomgunyadi. Inkolo zomgunyadi ziqalela phasi ikoro yezefundo. Umnyango wezefundo esisekelo ukwamukele ukumenyezelwa kokukhutshwa kwemphumela kaMatric.
Provinces are currently printing. They will be sent to the districts, from district to school. So on Friday, candidates will be able to collect their statements of results from the center where they set for examinations.
Kuthokozwa bonke abalime indima ngenhlahlubo zikaMatric.
iDA ithi ayikaneli ngempendulo ezifumene emphathimandleni ze-National Student Financial Aid Scheme. Lokho kulandela ivakatsho layo emaofisini we-NSFAS eKapa ukuyokuhlola ukulungela kwayo ukusabalalisa imbonelelo enkulungwaneni zabafundi bonyana womnyaka ukufunda ka-2024.
Besincamile isiqhema esithunywe i-DA ukuzifunela amaqiniso ngokuthi ngiziphi insombululo ezilethwa yiNSFAS emrarweni eqalene nabafundi malungana nesizo lemali njengoba sekuzokuthoma umnyaka wokufunda ka-2024.
We found out that there were some glitches where students couldn't get online to register or to create their profile, and how in general is the application process going, because we know it only ends at the end of this month.
Abaphathi beNSFAS baqalene nembuzo ebudisi.
NSFAS still does not have the capacity to roll out distribution and catering for its current cohort of beneficiaries, let alone the next batch. They are not ready. Their portals are still inaccessible. Students are still unable to clearly find out what their statuses are.
Abaphathi beNSFAS bathi ngenzeka bona impendulo zabo azikaneli ngombana bakanikelwa isikhathi eseneleko sokuziphendulela.
It was at short notice. We did not receive the questions, we did not prepare for the questions, and some of the questions may have been responded to in a way that is not complete.
Ihlangano le ikhombela ikomiti yomnyango wezefundo ephakemeko bona ingenelele begodwa ibizele neNSFAS eParliament bona izoziphendulela malungana nokulungela kwayo umnyaka wokufunda ka-2024.
Abanye ababelethi ePolokwane Limpopo babhalelwa ukufumanela abantwana babo ingkhala zokufunda enkolweni. Ababelethi baraga nokubuthana emaofisini weSecret ePietersburg ePolokwane ukuyokufaka imbawo zokufumanela abantwana babo ingkhala ngaphambi kokuvula kwenkolo ngelesihlanu. Ababelethi abathindeke khulu ngebabantwana abayokufunda ugrade uR no1 kunye no8.
Mjeje ukufaka imbawo ngemva kwesikhathi kanti nesikhathi naso sikhambe kangako. Khathisi ukumbeledi ufuna bona umntwana wakhe afunde nonyaka nje. Ubabona balapha nje abathoma ukuzala lapha babuyile godu ema-ofisini wezefundo ukuzokufunela abantwana babo inkhundla enkolweni zePolokwane.
The officials here have been giving us a little bit of mixed information. We are concerned. Since I arrived this morning, I wanted to appeal my child's application where I applied for him last year in a school near our residential area, but unfortunately we never even received a regret letter. We didn't receive any information.
We came this morning to find out placement for our children that are needing to start in the next 2 days, and unfortunately we were told that we can come only next week again. This is now the third time since December I've been here, and I've been told the same thing over and over.
Bangaphezu kwenkulungwane embili ababelethi bembawo eziphayiweko kodwa nababelethi bangakhona ukuzibilayeza ngemiphumela yembawo zabo. Amagrade ER1 kunye ne8 ngiwafumene isibalo esiphezulu sembawo.
This process started in May, and our main concern was grade R1 and 8, where we received 9,700 applications, and I can confirm to you that 6,700 were accepted in the schools. We declined about 2,800 because of falsified documents, fraudulent documents, people giving us the proof of address that is handwritten, people who are not residing in Polokwane in the city.
Imphathimandla zefundo zithi ziphezulu kwamahlelo okwakha inkolo ezitsha ezizokusiza ngehlangothini lesibalo esiphezulu sabantwana abahlela ngenkolo.
We are saying we need to build more so that we get rid of learners who are in the mobile classes, and to give enough space, because you'll know that Polokwane is one city that is expanding very quick.
Ama-ofisi wezefundo eliphalale kunye neDzanini nawo ahlangabezana nesitshijilo esifanako. Nakusenjalo nokukhamba kwenkoloyi kuthintekile endleleni esiseduze nama-ofisi la.
Ukuvula kwenkolo kulithabo lokuragela phambili ngekhambo lefundo kodwana hlangana nenqabo eziyokuba khona endleleni sisiga sokuthelisa esingesabantu abezwa ubumnandi ngobhlungu bomunye umuntu. Nakho ngakulindela ehlelweni sibuya nenyanda kusasa ngo6 ntambama ku-SABC lihaye na ku-app ye-SABC Plus malungana nalokhu.
Ngokuya ngokwembiko bangaphezulu kwe-3.2 million abafundi abatheliswa ke enkolweni zeSouth Africa phangomnyaka. Kanti ebantwaneni abali10 umntwana munye ulisa isikolo ngokusaba ukutheliswa. Abanye bagcina sibalahlekelwa umphefumulo ngokutheliswa.
They did CPR, but I could just tell that my son was not going to make it, and that was goodbye for Brian. That's how he left me.
Nanyana ukuthelisa kuvame phakathi kwabantwana kwesinye isikhathi kuba butitshera abatheliswa abantwana namkha umntwana athelise namkhadelela utitshera. amanye amathwayo womntwana otheliswako kulokho umntwana angasanajisakali yokwenza izinto bekathanda ukuzenza phambilini, okungasafuni ukuya esikolweni nokungasasebenzi kuhle esikolweni hlangana nokhunye. Ukuzwa ngokunabileko ngendaba le ungaphundwa lihlelo sibuya nenyanda kusasa ngo-6 ntambama ku-SABC Lehaye ku-app ye-SABC Plus.
Kezemali randa lehlile nalinganisana nezinye imali ezikulu. iSenegal idosa phambili ngamagondela amathathu elizweni ithuthumbisa iGambia emidlalweni weAFCON oragako esele uya ekupheleni nandike elinye lamagondela weSenegal.
This is the second time that they are attempting to go into the box. Simply tells you that there we go. There's a goal. There we go.
We said it. The profile of goals will never change. Goals will always be scored beginning of the match, towards end of the first half, beginning second half, towards, and you could just feel it that it's coming and coming and coming. Then you need leadership in this instance where you're saying, guys, we're under pressure. We need to be calm. We need to get the ball.
Kanje yakhe siphose ilihlo ehlelweni sibuya nabazumi kuKwekwezi FM sizwe bona baphethe ziphi namhlanje. Sibu niphethe ziphi ngapho?
Siyathokoza Cedric isilotshisa umbukelo khona usekhaya indaba esiziphethe namhlanje umkhandlu lo olawula ukukhishwa kwempumela yabafundi bebanga le-12 uMalusi namhlanje bekade unomhlangano nababiki bendaba uthi konke kukhambe kuhle enhlahlubeni zangomnyaka opheleleko ngale kwalokho kusesenemjeje emide lapha esifundeni seLimpopo la ababelethi basafunela ukuthi batholele abantwana babo inkolo abazokwazi ukuthi bafunde kizo. Khumbula ukuthi ngolosithathu ivekele ziyavulwa inkolo ngale kwalokho isiqhema senaga iBafana Bafana sasa siyadlala emidlalweni wephaliswano le-AFCON obanjelwe lapha enarheni ye-Ivory Coast labadlala khona nenaga yeMali. Ngizo-ke indaba esiziphethe kwebusuku namhlanje. Siyathokoza ithuba, sithokoza khulu.
Sithokoze Sibu. Mahlangu
awande Cedric.
Zithini izangoma zezulu namhlanje?
Zithi ukuthoma namhlanje izulu linenkhulu likhona namhlanje ebusuku kanti kusasa lizobe lilinenkhulu ukufikela ngelesithathu sikalindela 80% amathuba wezulu khulukhulu endaweni ezingePumalanga yenarha kodwa kwanje asijingekilo. Umvulo muhle sithokozile Cedric. Ebusuku namhlanje siyabona ukuthi ngePumalanga yenarha nokho ke likhona izulu at 60% amathuba walo kanti ke izinye indawo mfetezana nje kwaphela ngapho sihlogomela ikhulu kwamambala na ukhona ngapha kwaZulu Natal ngombana ngapho izulu limbi ikhulu kwamambala kanti kuhle khulu kwamambala na uliqala khona ngapha ngePumalanga yenarha yakhona ngapha ngeKapa kanti ke nasilicala khona ngakulesi sifunda siyabona ukuthi nokho ke mfetezana nje nemoya egijimako ngapha kunalito kusasa ke njengoba ngikhe ngatsho siyalibona ke ukuthi lithomile lifikile likhulu izulu 80% na ukhona ngapha ngeGauteng ngapho neGauteng khona ngapho kuJohannesburg ePitori wehle Marabastata ngapho eMamelodi silicale khona nakhona ngakulezi indawo zakhona ngaphanga kwaZulu Natal sihlogomele khulu kwamambala na ukhona ngapha boLady Smith ngapho kanti ke mfetezana nje kwaphela kuba ngapha ngoBloemfontein ngapho sihlogomele khulu kwamambala kanti ke nasiqala konje ebusuku siyabona ukuthi nokho ke izulu elilimbi khulu likhambisana nemjijo ethuthumbako sihlogomele khulu kwamambala nasingapho kanti nakusasa nokho ke lisazorakela phambili lithuthumbe njalo nakezinye indawo lithi ukwathela njalo kube kuhleke na ukhona khona ngapha ngeKapa amazinga okutshisana sithi awaqala ebusuku namhlanje siyabona ukuthi nokho ke kusasa kuzabe ukuthi 31 lithi Johannesburg zithi ngapha ngeSprings lizakujama lapha ku29 na uvakatshela ngapho kusho khona ukuthi nokho ke selithi liwathela nje nokho kuzabe kuchisa asiliqale ngapha ngeLimpopo siyabona ukuthi likhamba liwathele eMusina kuyachisa ngapho thoyande ePulukwane ngale ngeliphalale ngapho lizakujama ku33 ngapho phasi kwadlawulale nePhalaburwa ngapho alibona ukuthi zakujama lapha ku34 na uvakatshela lesi sifunda siliqale ngapha ngelekhweni ebicane phezulu isikhukhuza wedla uTembombela ngapho ngemkhono ngapha ngeGarlina ngapho liyachisa lijama ku27 kwaNdebele yoke emalahleni eMiddelburg ngapha ngeSekhunda ngeStandard 10 ngapho nokho nihlokomele khulu bambala zabe lichisa kamnandi khulu nendebe inkashani ngamenzi yaphuza umlaza ngameva nguZulu uyalibona ukuthi nawukhona ngapha ngeMgungundlovu ngapho ngeThekwini eLelismith ngapho likhona uLundi nangale ngemzimkhulu ngapho siyabona ukuthi izabe likhona iZulu nawuvakatshela ngapho boFryhead ngapho lizabe likhona iZulu nanivakatshela lesi sifunda eBumalanga Kapa likhona eKradoke kumane ngapha eGraafrenek lijama ku29 khamba lithi parapara ngamafu eMthatha wehle uTemundi lizakujama lapha ku25 likhamba lithi parapara ngamafu nawuvakatshela lesi sifunda asiliqale khona ngapha ngeWestern Cape uyalibona ukuthi nePofoswet lichiza khuluma mbala ngapha ngeGeorge lijama lapha ku23 nawuvakatshela ngapho liqala ngeKapa likhamba lithi parapara ngamafu eWorcester lijama ku20 ku31 nawuvakatshela ngapho kuhle ngapha ngeTlagwini Kapa kuhle khuluma mbala eSpringbok eUppington lichiza khuluma mbala eCalvin ngapha eCarnarvon ngapho 37 lichacha chisa ngapho likhipho nomthakana ngemgodini Free State liyawathele eBothaville Velkom ngapha ngeBloemfontein eCrossstad ngapho 34 nawuvakatshela lesi sifunda siqale ngokugcina eTlagwini Jingalanga Mahike ngeFryburg ngapha ngeOttersdal eTaung liza kujama lapha ku36 ngapho likhamba liwathela ngemva kwamadina kusasa umndungwa ubungele kokosi uthi iye zesiNdebele
Ziphelela laphaza namhlanje ebesinhlanganisele zona kanti ke zikhona ngeSwati ngesikhathi esifanako umusa